So I read this statement, and I'll be straight with you. It rubbed me the wrong way when I read it. I think I've talked about it in a previous show, but not in the detail that I'm going to go into it today. But the statement was, what have you done to participate in your own illness? And I thought, I don't really like the sound of that. Sounds like I gave myself cancer. And of course, that's just the way I interpreted it. It was just my thought at the time, but it stuck with me. It's one of those sticky thoughts, those ones that you just keep thinking about. What have I done to participate in my own illness? And then I read another statement that came up in a book I was reading, and it said, you really have to look at how your illness serves you. And that didn't sit well with me. I thought, what? Wait a minute. Cancer benefits me, serves me. And so resistance came up. Absolutely. And it might be coming up in you now. Asking yourself, how does cancer serve you? I don't even like the question, right? I didn't like it. I didn't want to think about it. But it kept coming up. And I kept reading more books on healing. And those two questions, how does it serve you and how do you participate in your own illness, kept coming up. So I thought, well, shit, I guess I better think about this, right? I better look at it. And at first, I didn't come up with anything, but that's pretty much because I didn't really want to look at it, right? I didn't want to ask myself, how does this illness serve me? And so when you're still resisting something, you're fighting it, you're not really going to be open and curious and coming up with a lot of good stuff. But I finally did get to a place where I thought, okay, what did I do to participate in my own illness? And I could begin to see some things like relationships that I hung on to for too long that I shouldn't have, or that I put myself in their mindset, got into their way of thinking and created a lot of worry and emotional upset for me. Work environments that weren't serving me, things like that you could refer to or label as toxic, and that maybe I should have changed sooner than I did, but I didn't. And then this kind of an opening, right? A lens to start looking through when you're ready to see that, when you're willing to say, what did I do or didn't do that I could have done differently to support my healing? Not necessarily to give me cancer. That's not what I'm saying. But it does mean that allowing your body, your mind, your emotions to be in stressful places or unhealthy environments longer than you know is good for you. And in those situations, it can definitely cause a weakness in the immune system because of the stress. And that can be an opportunity for cancer to grow, for cancer to take root. So when I think about how do I participate in my own illness, it's by any time that I'm not being true to myself. It's realizing something, that there's a situation, a relationship, an environment that I don't want to be in, and my heart and my gut is saying, I don't want to be here, and then not changing it. Not doing anything about it, looking at my diet, looking at anything I put in my body or on my body and asking myself, is this really serving me? And then not doing anything about it if the answer is no, it's not serving you, and continuing to do that. And then there's the other side of that, where there are some situations and environments that you like just because they're fun or they're enjoyable, certain kinds of eating, certain kind of drinking, certain things you keep in your home, certain things you put on your body, and you say, but I like it and I don't want to give it up, right? So there's the toxic ones, you're like, I don't like it, but I'm not taking action, and even though I want to get away from it. And on the other hand, I like it, but I know it doesn't serve me. So there's a couple different perspectives, and I started to make peace with that. I started to see how I could refer to that and own that as participating in my own illness. And then more than that, I just like to flip it, because I like to look at things from a positive aspect and say, how was I or was I not participating in my own healing or in supporting my own health?